He sent a fake love letter from me to the teacher, so I sent his secrets to the principal's desk. Some people stab you in the back, others fold notebook paper into weapons and sign your name on the front. The guy who did it to me, my best friend, Caleb. We'd known each other since 6th grade, ate lunch together, played the same games, laughed at the same jokes. I used to think of him as a brother until he turned my life into a punchline. It started when we both developed a crush on Ms. Kelly, our 11th grade English teacher. Yeah, I get it, typical high school fantasy. But it wasn't just the looks. She was smart, sarcastic, the only teacher who didn't treat us like toddlers with smartphones. Caleb made jokes about her constantly. You gonna ask her to prom? Bet she'd let you grade her papers. Real middle school energy from a guy old enough to drive. Me? I kept my thoughts to myself, respectfully, silently, like a sane person. But I guess my silence made me a target. One Friday afternoon, I was called to the office mid-class. I thought someone died. Instead, I walked into the guidance counselor's room to find Ms. Kelly sitting there holding a pink envelope. It had hearts drawn on it. Inside was a letter, handwritten in my style, saying I'd been dreaming of her, counting down the days until I could confess my feelings in person. I nearly threw up. I tried explaining it wasn't me, that someone was messing with me. But when your name's signed at the bottom and you don't exactly have a reputation for being the most vocal guy in school, it doesn't look good. Ms. Kelly didn't accuse me of anything, but the look in her eyes changed. I was no longer a student. I was a threat. That day, I lost her trust, and with it, my favorite class. I got pulled out of honors English and reassigned to another section with a guy who pronounces metaphor like metaphor. When I asked Caleb if he knew anything about it, he laughed. Dude, that's messed up. Who'd even do that? Then he smirked. I know that smirk. It's the same one he made after blaming me for clogging the locker room toilets in 8th grade. I stayed quiet, but I took notes. I stopped calling him my best friend and started treating him like a case study. Here's what I learned. Caleb had a habit. He liked writing notes to his girlfriend Ruby, not text messages. Real pen-on-paper poetry cringe notes that he passed in class. What can I say? The guy was a hopeless romantic with the emotional IQ of a squirrel. I also knew Ruby's older sister worked in the front office, and that Caleb had a secret side account on Instagram where he messaged girls anonymously, then bragged about it on Discord. So I got to work. First, I found one of Caleb's famous notes in the recycling bin behind the classroom. He'd tossed it after Ruby apparently didn't get it. I smoothed it out, scanned it, and opened a Word document. Then I took screenshots of his thirst messages, his deleted posts, his saved DMs to 3 girls who were definitely not Ruby, all from his side account. Then I wrote a letter, not from me, from a concerned student who didn't want to see more girls embarrassed. I attached the screenshots, the poetry, a copy of the love letter that got me accused, and I slid it into a plain envelope addressed to the principal. Timing matters. I knew Caleb had a student council meeting on Wednesday. Same time Ruby had her independent study. I waited until they were both inside, then dropped the envelope at the front desk for the principal. By the end of the day, Ruby had seen the messages. Her sister had forwarded everything. Caleb was called in during lunch, walked out with his parents on speakerphone, and suspended for inappropriate conduct and targeted harassment. Ms. Kelly? She got an apology from the principal and a forwarded copy of my cleared name. Apparently anonymous tips work both ways. But my favorite part wasn't the fallout. It was what came next. For the rest of the year, Caleb sat alone. Ruby dumped him. The group chat kicked him. He even tried to flirt with a girl 2 grades below. She told him she preferred guys who didn't write like a bad Valentine's Day card. And me? I got back into Ms. Kelly's class. She never brought it up, but one day, she did say, "Your essays have a lot more bite lately." I like it. Yeah, me too. Because sometimes the only way to stop someone from speaking for you is to write their ending yourself. He forged my words to humiliate me, so I rewrote his story, one exposed secret at a time.